Welcome everybody, this is Judy Parcell. Welcome back to my studio. Today I thought I'd do a little lesson in a different way to shade. This would probably apply more to pen and ink than pencil. As usual, I've drawn everything out in pencil. And the three things I'm going to show you on this sheet of paper are called hatching, stippling, and crosshatch. I'm going to do all three of these pyramids. I'm going to start by giving you a direction of where the light is. So hatching is simply, well, first of all, let me outline these. And I also want to show you another little trick. Bring this line down, and then I'm going to go right in the center and go down a bit further where those other lines stop, and I'm going to connect them, and there you have a shape of a pyramid. Now start the hatching. I think I want to use another pen here. This one's too thick. Okay. So I'm just going in one angled direction with my pen, and only on one side because the light is coming in right up here. I wanted to tell you that the closer the hatching is, the darker it becomes. So you can control how dark your shadow is by how close your hatching is. A little trick. I also had a little factoid for you if you didn't know this. Some people do, but the actual Egyptian pyramids are not four-sided. They are eight-sided. Google it. It's interesting. This next one I'm doing is called Stippling, and it's a matter of just putting dots there with your pen point. More dots closer together, the darker. Same as with what we talked about over here. Now one thing I found was stippling. Actually, that's not really a good pen for this, because it's, I don't know. I think I want to come in with a heavier pen for some reason. Okay, it gets lost, the little point on this. Okay, that's much better. There was a period of time in the 1900s that people did a thing called pointillism. And all they did was they put points on their art, and they made the whole thing out of points. I don't know about you, I don't have the patience for that, but I'm fascinated to see what other people have done with it. And it can be very soft and very beautiful. And another thing they did was they would take colors that were opposite of each other on the color wheel. So they would do one dot and right next to it do the opposite color on the color wheel. And the mind tricks you into believing something else other than what they really did. It's almost like a science. It's fascinating. Now this one, the crosshatch, oh, I forgot to finish my triangle. Now you're finding my weak points. I get in a hurry and I don't finish my lines. All right. All right. So I won't forget the lines. I think I'll draw them first. Okay. Cross hatching. I think I used the smaller pen for this. I did. Okay. Is simply hatching. But you come in and you go in the opposite direction over the other lines. And these things I'm talking about primarily apply to pen and ink. I personally wouldn't do this with a pencil. Pen and ink is kind of stark, and so you can get away with this. It's much more impactful. Okay, there we go. Hatching. Stippling. It's funny, sometimes I don't dot my I's. I wonder if that's in connection with me not finishing the lines. Kitty, no. My cat wants to jump on my desk. I should probably put him out of the studio when I'm getting ready to do these videos. Okay, there you have it. Except I thought I would add some shading at the bottom of these. They're sitting on something. Otherwise, they're just floating. So I'm going to use the same type of hatching here, but in the shade. And I think I'll go in the opposite direction. And you got to draw the line out to the angle of this. Because you want to pick up the angle of the pyramid. Go out a little bit more. Okay. There you go. Now it's sitting on something. Let's try it with the stippling. I would come in first and kind of draw in some dots. I'm going to use the other pen. Okay, I'm going to draw in some dots. And then you can stipple inside there. And I would stipple all the way, not just part of the way. let's start it with the cross hatching. Now you notice I didn't draw a line. No lines around these. I cheated a little with the stippling, but I'll bring this up a little bit more. You really have to think about the shadow on this. Kind of fun. And there you have it, and they're sitting on the ground. Now, sometimes this is used in cartooning. And if you like to do cartoons, there are 3 different ways here to shade an object. Now let's talk about get another piece of paper here. Let's talk about doing a circle, circle, you see, I can't even draw a circle. And we'll cover a square. You notice I bent those lines. If you remember the horizon line, doot, 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 doot. Remember that? There you have it again. Alrighty. So here's a different type of shading you can use on these two. And I think I'll use my finer brush for this. This is called contour, and this is where you follow the contour of the circle. Just like that. And your light, by the way, is coming from here. So your biggest part of your shadow is going to be here. And I think I'll bring that down because I can get away with that. It is going to be just about the darkest spot. The furthest away from the light the curve is, the darker it's going to be. And that lends 3-dimensional shape to this ball. Okay. So that is called contour. I'm going to move this over a little bit. Contour. And this one is going to be called squiggle. You can give these names any kind of name you want, but for the sake of the video, I am doing this. Alright, to shade this one, the light is coming from here. I'm just going to squiggle. You see that a lot in the comics too. Just squiggle, squiggle. Thank you for coming to my studio, and I hope you enjoyed this little video. Please take a snapshot of this, a screenshot I should say. And just a little tip, if you're getting tired of printing out sheets and sheets of paper, from your screenshots. Take your screenshots, put them in a folder, and label it Drawing Screenshots. And keep them all in there in a folder, and then you can print out the ones you're going to be using. I don't know what your filing system is, but you might lose the ones you printed out. Sometimes I end up throwing I'm not going to use this, I'll print it out later or something. So keep them in a little folder on your computer. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you again soon. Bye.